Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and lead instructor for CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record live every Monday. If you enjoy this video, hit that like button, and if you want to submit to be on the show, take a look at the information in the description.
1-3, pretty weak, tight table. Been there 3-4 hours, and so under the gun +3, Dylan raises to 18 pre. So that's a huge opening, 6x opening. Haven't seen this guy do anything out of line all day, so already we got some spidey senses going off.
How deep are you guys, by the way? Do you remember?
Oh, I'm the biggest at the table. 1,000 effective. I cover all as normal.
So it's 1,000 effective in this hand. So the player you're going to play against is going to have 1,000, and you cover.
Yeah, he has about 800 or so, but I cover him and everybody else at the table.
Okay, so 800 effective. Okay, so +3 raises. By the way, when we say effective, it actually means the shortest stack in the hand, because that is what effective means. That's like if you have 2,000 and a guy has 300. The reason why it's 300 effective is because it's the fact that you have 2,000 isn't relevant. What's in play is 300. That's where the word comes from. Anyways, sometimes people get confused.
Yeah,
so 800 effective.
I cover all.
Yep. +3 raises to 18. Okay.
18, so 6x open, cut off to my, I'm on the button, cut off to the right calls.
Okay.
He's been doing some wacky stuff all day that I've been seeing him do. But basically, he's one of those players that leads large if he has it and doesn't know how to value that. So we're on the button. We look down at the beautiful king, queen of spades.
Okay.
So normally in this spot, this is a dream scenario to 3-bet. I mean, I 3-bet this hand all day long, but the problem is that under the gun +3, 6x'd it from $3 to $18. So, we'll take a flop in position here. So I ended up calling and big blind calls. So we're 4 ways going to the flop.
So, and big blind calls. I mean, I understand that it's a large open, but you do have a call in between. I mean, king, queen suited, I would almost always 3-bet here. There's extra dead money. Again, I mean, is it terrible as a flat? No, it's not terrible. It's definitely a good hand, but I think that, I would definitely choose this one to play as a 3-bet. Like, for example, if you had like Jack 10 suited or like Queen 10 suited or Queen Jack suited, I would probably flat more with those going along the line that you're thinking than King Queen suited. But okay, so 18 cutoff calls, button calls. You're the button with King Queen of spades, and the big blind calls. So pot's like 72.
72-ish, somewhere in there.
Okay.
So we're going to go 4 ways to the flop. Flop brings, stand by, let me check my notes here. 10 of spades, 9 of clubs, 5 of spades.
Okay.
Big blind checks, original raiser bets $75, 3 green chips, basically pot, if not that.
Yep.
Cut off to my right calls pretty quickly, and now it's decision time for me. And I'm kind of thinking in my head, well, this flop doesn't represent his. If he has aces, kings, or ace king, or jacks, or queens, this doesn't really smash his range too well. But if we 3-bet here, I mean, we have massive equity. We 2 overs, we got the gut shot, we got the spade flush draw. But if we 3-bet this now, can we get that under the gun +3 to fold? I don't know if he's good enough to realize that. I'm not sure. So decision time here now. I ended up flatting. What would you have done in that situation on the flop?
Well, I mean, I think unless this guy is, out to lunch, which could be possible in a 1-3 game, normally he's going to have something when he bets pot into 3 other people 4 ways. So he's betting 75 on 10, 9, 5. I mean, this would be, like I said, he would really have to be out to lunch if he has like ace, king of diamonds here that he's betting 75 with. So I would be surprised if you have a ton of fold equity. With that being said, though, you do have a guy in between. So if the guy wasn't in between, and let's say, for example, you raised here, say maybe to 225, it wouldn't surprise me if a guy, you're just going to get in stacks like the guy with aces or kings. He's just going to go with it. You'll get it in. And, you're pretty close to flipping, even against like aces. Against queens, you're probably a slight favorite because of the overcard. But the interesting thing here is that I don't know if someone's going to be as reckless with that caller in between, meaning if you bump it to like 275, I'm not sure at 1-3 if a guy's just going to jam aces. It's possible. It's probably hard to screw this hand up. Your hand's going to have so much equity here that only the littlest hint of fold equity is necessary for this to basically work out because you're a flip. Maybe what you could obviously take a card here and just call. The other thing that's a little bit concerning, more so in PLO, is that if your card comes on the turn that's a spade, you may not get the action. People might just check fold. Usually when I don't think that someone's going to fold, then I would probably just, sort of just call. And then lastly, once in a great while, if the guy in the middle had like the nut flush draw, like ace four spades, you want that hand out of there, which is another reason why you might raise. But I calling I think is fine. So
okay, cool.
The pot is like a little under 300, right?
Right. So
225,
just a little bit under 300. So big blind ends up folding, and now we're going three ways to the turn. The pot should be 305 on my notes. So turn is a blank, 3 of diamonds. Original raiser, that's under the gun plus 3. He bets now $200, so 2/3 size pot.
Yeah, I mean he has something, right?
that's what our spidey senses are telling us, and this is going to come into play later on the river. I don't want to spoil alert anything, but so he bets 2/3 size pot, 200 into 305. The cutoff now quickly calls, and now decision back to us.
Well, I mean,
I don't think we can fold now, right?
No, you can't. Well, I mean, you can't fold. I mean, I think I would start to get concerned if I were you, if I had like a hand like 6-7 of spades here, that I might be being overdrawn by the cutoff. But with king queen, it's like the cutoff really can only have like ace x, a couple combos of ace x. So if I were you and I had 6-7 of spades, although on this board you would turn a double gutter, so even that would be a little bit hard to fold. But I think you know where I'm going with this. And then also too, now +3 only has 500 left. You're never going to get him to fold. Now, whether or not, I mean, I think it's close on the flop. You can easily make a case here for raising on the flop. I think the turn is definitely not close. You should just call.
Yeah.
You should just call.
In position. Oh yeah.
Well, it's just you. There's only one card left. There's only one card to come now. Now you're only maybe a 1 in 4 shot of hitting.
Right.
Because it would be a spew, I think, to raise here. So the pot is gonna be, you're calling 200. So now the pot's 900, right?
905. Yep. So now three ways go into the river, and this is the head scratcher, man. This one I've lost sleep over this decision on the river. The river, queen of diamonds.
Okay.
Pot's 905.
So you hit your
under the gun plus.
So you hit your top pair now, basically, is what you hit.
We hit top pair king kicker, right? But missed everything else. Under the gun goes all in 475. So basically half pot. Cutoff folds instantly. Just pissed off that whatever draw he was on, he missed.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble here. What's your name? Andrew. I'm sorry to burst your bubble here, Andrew. But if I were you, I would fold immediately as well. I don't think there's much of a decision here really to be made. There's so much strong action being represented here from +3. It's just, and also too, by you holding the primary hands that are going to be bluffing, that it might be running like a 3 street here, like ace king of spades, so ace jack of spades, something like that. Although I guess you don't block ace jack of spades, that's one hand, but you've got the king and the queen of spades. It's a little bit, it's kind of interesting that he's going for three bets here, because usually a guy's not going to bet one pair here, especially with the straight coming in at the end. But I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I guess a guy might have aces, but I wouldn't really think twice here about folding. Yeah.
And so I tanked for 5 minutes. I'm thinking, we blocked
5 minutes?
We blocked ace king.
5 minutes?
5 minutes, yeah.
Shit.
Did he do this with pocket jacks? Maybe he was doing pocket jacks this entire time as an overpair. We might have got there with the queen, and we could take down this juicy pot. And that's in a dream scenario, of course. Or he has the ace king, but we block one of those kings. So, it's all these situations are going off in my head. He's only betting 50% pot on the river. I tank for 5 minutes.
Ace king. Wait a minute. I just want to. I'm not trying to be hard on you at all. It's just that sometimes people, and I think that this will get you to be a better hand reader. We talked about how him having ace king is basically impossible because of the flop play, right? Remember we went back on the flop, Andrew, and we were like, wow, he's betting, unless this guy's really far out to lunch, somebody's not going to bet full pot into 3 people on 10 of spades, 9 of clubs, 5 of spades with like ace king of hearts, right? So it's just very hard for him to have bluffs here. I mean, in the sense that I'm trying to think of a hand where like it would be close for you. I mean, here's the thing, like it's hard because it's hard for you to really have queen 10 here, because if I had queen 10 and I were you, I'd fold the turn. So if I didn't have because he's betting 200 and then the other guy's calling in the middle, I would just be a simple fold on I might even fold the flop, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, that's how much strength this guy is showing through his bet sizing into multi-way action. So it's hard for me to try to come up with like a cusp hand that I'm calling with here. Like, I mean, maybe if you flatted the flop with 9-10 and then you just held on and you didn't put the rest of the money in, but I seem to think that you'd probably get that in maybe on the turn with this other guy calling in between. So it's hard for me to think of a cusp hand, but I think that you made the right laydown.
Well, thank you for that validation. I could sleep soundly now. Thank you for that. But yeah, long story short, I take 5 minutes, folded. I offered him $5 to show. He said nope. 5 minutes later, he walked out with his profit, cashed out, and went somewhere else. So pretty confident we made the right fold here, but just wanted to run that by you.
Well, no worries. Thanks for the info about Texas. Maybe we'll play sometime.
Oh, I'd love to. Absolutely. So good luck.
All right. Take it easy. Bye-bye. If you like what you've seen here, please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this call-in hand, hit the like button down below. To check out crushlivepoker.com, click on the link in the description. Use the code YTA300 to get the first 30 days for free.